Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. So I started out my week with Angus with a concussion. So we were in the ER all day Monday morning after a Vibe with the Tribe with Rick Paul. And then today I woke up with this fabulous sinus infection. So things are going great. It is springtime here. I usually do get sinus infections, but I'm going to try and get through this video as quickly as possible. So I will put the link to the Reddit string in the description of this video. But apparently, some text messages have been released or leaked that the Sussex squad is not really happy about the Nigeria trip. These are allegedly people that were in Nigeria as well, discussing the whole thing. I have a strong suspicion that this is a fake of a fake. So we're going to first see if it's real, a sham, or if it's a fake of a fake. And I'll explain what a fake of a fake is in just a second. Be right back. Welcome back, Tarot fam. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. And in this video, we're going to look at these leaked squatty texts and we're going to decide whether it's real, a sham, or sham of a sham. So first things first, thanks for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. My subscribership has been going up, which is fantastic. So if you're not subscribed, jump on into the cookie jar and give me a subscribe. Also, remember to like this video and make some comments. I will link the Reddit post that does have this. It's from St. Meghan Markle, who is a great resource for all of us. The provenance of these texts has not yet been determined. That's why I thought we would use the tarot to see if we can determine if it's a fake of a fake. So what I mean by a fake of a fake, either these can be real and they were leaked, by presumably the individuals who are texting in it, or it can be a fake, which would be anti-Sussex Squad people who created these texts just to make it look like the Sussex Squad is losing interest in supporting their favorite dynamic duo, Runaway Royals. If it's a fake of a fake, this is what I think. I think that perhaps someone is creating these texts to make it seem like there are people that are disinterested in supporting these two, but they're still promoting all of the wonderful things about them. So we're going to break it down into, and I understand that there are some other texts that have been released since this one. So we're just going to go through the first set first. So the first thing, and I'm going to bring up the cards while I'm talking about this. Let me get up my screen. Again, thank you so much for being here. And I would like to invite anyone who isn't already joined to the Psychic News Report. It's a collaborative channel that I am working on with Rob Akampora from the A Game with Rob Akampora, Thor Sandalwood, and Rick Paul, the Psychic Medium. We're doing news with a psychic spin. Rick is a medium, Thor is a Vedic astrologer, and I am a tarot and divination specialist plus a remote viewer. So you kind of get it all. It's one-stop shopping for all your weird psychic stuff. So, all right, the first thing that I saw was the Ashiobi, the family cloth reference. So in the first few lines of the text, it says the useless tour is finally over, LOL. Response was, it's not useless. Free food, free hotel, free hotel stay, free clothes. You don't like our ASOIBI clothes. That's Ashiobi, which it translates to family cloth. It is the fancier dress that you do see on people in Sierra Leone and Nigeria. So I will link another video so you can see what the Ashiobi look like dialed up really should be. It's pretty fabulous. So I don't know if they received clothing like this in the video, but if they got any facsimile of it, they probably got some really nice stuff. So let's see if that mention of the Ashiobi is really a soft merch. So what I mean by soft merch, it's a type of clothing. It's like saying that you wear preppy clothing. It kind of falls into that category. It's a little bit more finer of a point. But next step, maybe we're going to start to hear some designers. So is that drop an attempt to merch? So if I read the card straight, this is usually a no card, but this means that there's more coming, but it's spelled wrong in the text messages. So is it going to have legs? I don't think so. It's spelled ASO space EBI. It should be spelled all together. It's also spelled Ashiobi, ASHOEBI. So I think they kind of dropped the ball on that. So perhaps that was a bad thing. There is a specification that it was a private visit. So texts go on, you are a hater. Megan, that is also a trigger that this maybe is a fake of a fake. Megan was supposed to meet and have a photo op with the First Lady, but it was denied. Why did they deny her? The First Lady reached out to the British consulate, who clarified it was a private visit. So the First Lady reached out to the consulate, meaning the First Lady really wanted to meet with her, but the big bad British consulate once again put their boot on the neck of someone who's just trying to do good. So, how did the First Lady feel? We're talking about the First Lady of Nigeria, mind you. How did the First Lady feel about this visit? Did she want to meet with Meghan? Hell no. She declined to meet with her. I don't think the British consulate declined this meet and greet. I think the First Lady denied it. There was no reason for her to get involved in this. Likewise, she just was very pleasant and went about her business and stayed at home, stayed out of the fray. So that's what I think. How did Meghan feel when the request to meet with the First Lady was denied? That would have been a big look for her. Not a good look, but a big look. A big look. How did Meghan feel when that was denied? Very unhappy. Very unhappy. It was a tower crashing moment. Everybody's ruining it, but she will rise again and she will figure something out. So we're going to chalk that up to tower crashing moment. So all the officials in the president's office were told that it was a private capacity. We're just going to skip over. Yes, all the officials in the presidency were instructed not to participate in the tour. There was no active engagement, spelled wrong, from the federal government. So is that true? Were the officials instructed by the consulate to not participate? No. The question wasn't even asked. It was business as usual. They didn't do this. The president and all of his men were not asked to participate in this. It wasn't even an issue. Did Harry and Meghan ask? Did they ask? Yes, they did ask. They asked. And they were told it's too complicated. They also, I think this was perhaps thrown back, just like hey, is this an official visit? And it was thrown back and they said, no, it was not an official visit. So don't engage. So I think that was it. I think it wasn't, they were prevented from doing it. I think they checked in to see if they could entertain said couple. So the army provided security. So if this is a fake of a fake, having the army provide the security, not the police and not private security. So who covered their security? The army. There were no Secret Service officers, diplomatic officers, or Nigerian police. The army paid for their transport, security, and accommodation. So that leans into the whole security thing. You know, police aren't enough. And they're going to say they couldn't pay for the police because if you can't pay for it in England, then you can't pay for it anywhere. So is this true? Is it true that the army paid for everything? Yes, the army is trying to get something out of this. We'll get there. We'll get there. They did pay, expecting something in return. We don't know what yet, but expecting something in return. I will get there. That might even be another video. So I have notes, guys. Let me flip my page. Meghan and Harry were insufferable. Very demanding and insufferable. They had to change their suite because they wanted minimal contact with the people. The defense provided minivans, but their team requested SUVs, so they had to use the chief of staff's official vehicle. So calling them insufferable is this smokescreen to make this text exchange seem more plausible. To quote the I almost said the great John Mulaney. I hope that wasn't a prediction. Like a lie, like a liar. So yes, they were insufferable. There were demands, but promoting it in this text message is to make it seem more likely that this is a legitimate text exchange between two people. So it was a lie, yes, but a lie to create a promotion of them on the other points, because here we have that happy home. All right, stick with me, kids. The chief of staff of the Defense Department had to offer his vehicle for comfort. I wrote that is like their poor deposed prince. So is that an attempt to garner sympathy from everyone? Like, oh, he's just, I'm sorry, I keep looking at my fingers. Yes. Poor Harry. He is an important person, and he really has to rely on the charity of others. It's like those great princes of the Romanov family that were scattered to all four corners of, well, are there four corners of Europe? To the corners of Europe after the fall of the great state of Russia. So yes, this is to make it seem like, yes, people really like them. People really, really like them and support them. They're willing to give them their own beds and vehicles. It's like crazy. It's like Schitt's Creek when the Roses got to stay at the mayor's cabin. If you watch Schitt's Creek. So they brought their own chef. Was that put into this fake of a fake to show that they still have money? Yes. Yes. It's to show that they still have money and they can still take care of themselves. It was a flex. I do think that traveling with their own stylist and wardrobe assistant or attendant also have to do with this, but there's another point I want to bring up when we get to the stylist comment. So yes, that having their own chef shows that they still have money. Fake it till you make it, baby. Meghan thanked. So they say that they were insufferable, demanding all this security and luxury and whatnot. Yet, there was a meeting. She just thanked us, the Sussex Squad, for our work and support for her and Harry and all that we do on social media. She said she liked some of our names and write-ups on social media. She informed us about other upcoming projects. One of these gals or guys said that they were getting tickets to Britain in the next set. So Harry also walked by and said hi to us. So input to make her seem gracious, absolutely, because of the bullying, to make the crown look stupid and like she's always been on her back foot defending herself. That's why they did it. So she's really great. She's not a bully. She is so sweet. She went in and she actually knew some of their names and she read their write-ups, even though she doesn't go on social media at all. She reads The Economist all day long. We know that from when she was in the royal family. So this was just to counter those bullying claims, especially if that bullying report gets out. Now, they also said that they had a stylist and wardrobe assistant with them. Was that to deflect from her poor fashion choices? Because I don't know any stylists or wardrobe assistants that don't travel without tape to tape down your dress to make sure you don't have an unfortunate incident. I am a girl of means in the upper half, so tape is really key. No matter what, you have to have tape. So is this to deflect from her poor fashion choices? Absolutely. There was a team there and it was at odds. There was so much chaos going on. It was such a quick trip that they just really, had to go as quickly as possible. There were other people there, and I think we're going to have to restart the team. We're going to have to get some new people on that team. So, yeah. Where was the tape? Here we go. She is very thin, I must say. She is very thin. Now, I lived in LA, and I've told this story before. I will tell it again. When I moved there, my ex-husband's his girlfriends had a little, what I would call an intervention. It felt like an intervention. And they all gave me their plastic surgeon information, and they asked me what I was going to do about my nose and my weight problem. And at the time, I think I weighed 105 pounds. I was pretty horrified. I was also told that I needed to do something about my boobs. I was strongly encouraged to get breast implants because I really needed to assimilate into Hollywood and LA. And it was pretty horrifying. To this day, I'm still a little freaked out that my nose needs to be done. But had I gotten implants then, I would be in so much trouble now because I am very top heavy, and I was top heavy then. I couldn't quite figure out what they were doing. When I told my ex-husband, he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they did that to you." But I came home with a stack of business cards. It was from estheticians to hairdressers to plastic surgeons. It was really pretty crazy. So saying someone is thin in LA is a compliment. I'm not body shaming anyone, but saying someone is very thin, it is considered a compliment. We know all those Ozempic people are walking around going, "I'm 25 pounds lighter." So did she put the thin in there as a compliment to herself? Well, yes, but it is a double-edged sword. So what is the reasoning behind the thinness? So yes, she's thin by design to achieve that ultimate thin goal in Hollywood, but it's also to say, well, it's because she's so troubled. There's so many troubling things going on, and life is just not going for her well. She's just really stressed out. That's what this is all about. Dag nabbit. Dag nabbit. So, oh, Harry is so slow. That's the next one. What about Harry? She has this stronghold on Harry. She strictly manages Harry's conversation around people. Harry looks so slow. Harry is the full one. He didn't attend university. I don't know what the full one means, but so is this to make her seem smarter? Is this a backhanded compliment by insulting Harry and making Meghan seem really integral in his life, that really need her? Yes, she is the smart one. She is the one who can say everything that Harry can't. He really can't articulate what he needs to do, and he needs her there as his mouthpiece. You know, she's almost a lawyer. So there we go. And we are on to the last page. It says the Nigerians are not happy. So now I'm going to hit pause. That not really hitting pause, but this is like a pause in the text messages. So I think that they were shopping for a new home in Nigeria. I think they were perhaps trying to get a foothold in the Commonwealth and find a new place to live. Let's see if they were. Let me know what you think in the comments. Yes, no man is an island except for Harry. We're going to do a little bit more of a spread for this one. So I'm going to say yes. I think that the presumption was that Harry loves Africa so much. Why don't we find a country that we can go live in? Not South Africa, because we said all those things there and it was really a little bit awkward after. So let's try on some of these other countries, like the one that Meghan is genetically tied to. Let's give it a shot. He called them his in-laws. So I think, yes, recklessly, they tried to find a new home. They're over it now. They're not going to stay there. So I think we're going to see some backpedaling after this. I think the hope was that this was going to be a love connection for them. They're without home. They went there ready to plant some seeds. I thank you for welcoming me home. Harry says they're his in-laws. Like, it's so bizarre. But they didn't like it. They actually didn't like it there. I think they got a really good dose of it, and I don't think it's posh enough for them. I think it's kind of there wasn't enough luxury versus poverty. Having some trouble with that. Luxury versus poverty. So there, there was just no way that they could reconcile that. So they're still looking. They're still looking for another home. They thought that was going to be it. They thought Nigeria, the return of Meghan would be great. So I do think they were looking for that. What can we expect next stop? Are they gonna pick another African nation to go to? We're gonna see them in another African nation? No. No, I think we're gonna see some other Commonwealth locations. Yeah, it feels lush, more lush. The next one that they go to. And I know certain parts of Africa are very lush, but this feels very, very lush. Humidity. There's a lot of humidity here. That I think is and someplace that's less oppressive in terms of modesty and that sort of thing. I think we learned a big lesson about modesty on this trip, that you can't just go around wearing whatever you want and displaying whatever you want in certain cultures. So I think she did learn a lesson there. So okay, paid into the event. So they said that they paid. Nigerians were not happy with the visit. All officials were not happy, as it was a waste of time. Again, that's going to be another reason not to move there, as it was a waste of resources and a bad look for President Tinubu. It seems there were lots of crowds there. Not really. We paid them to show up. We recruited more than that. But the traffic in Abuja on Friday, especially during prayer time. So they're saying we paid people to show up, but not everybody. The extras didn't show up because of the traffic. Or we recruited more. So they have money. They have lots of money to pay these extras. Is this to make them seem like they have more money? Yes, that's just a yes card. We're just going to keep that for now. All right. And so the stylist, we talked about that. We're going to blame them for the wonderful fashions that we saw on display. The hospital. So the lead into the hospital, and this isn't really in the text messages. Let me see. This is not about Invictus. It's about Megan. We all know that. It's about branding, not the veterans. The hospital and patients were all planted and orchestrated. Did you see any Army doctors around? They didn't visit any military hospital in Abuja or the national hospital where veterans receive treatment. It's sad. They made it all about Megan. And then the last is, I saw your fellow Sussex squad too, and it's eyebrows with Scooby. So the hospital, was it staged? Was it staged? He could not get into the hospital. They didn't want him in there. They didn't want him visiting with patients. That wasn't something that they were going to allow him to do. So, word and that's easy. It was very stressful. They were locked out. No charity was given. There was a lot of conflict about it. And the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, they saw no purpose of it. So, who are these dudes? Knight of Wands, industrious people, broke people, and kind of shady people. And I think we saw that. I think there's some discussion about how Harry got a little annoyed with one of the guys, and the one he gave the thumbs up to and was like, we met before. Remember there was this whole exchange with him. So yes, I think that they were hired hands. So are we going to hear, as I'm predicting, that it was too dangerous for Harry to go to the actual real hospital because they've already played up that it was a very dangerous area? Are we going to hear that it was actually too dangerous for him to go to the hospital? Yes, there was a lot of conflict and war, and it was not safe. There was no way to get to safety. So they had to come up with a different plan. So, are they going to pitch that these gentlemen, these patients, were recovered soldiers? Yes, they're going to say these were guys that were at the end of their recovery and on their way out the door. Here we have the one guy with the leg that Harry told him to name his leg. So, yeah. Is it... Are they going to backfill this story? Are they going to backfill this story and say, we just really wanted to meet with some veterans? Yes, we did the best we could. It was not what we wanted. And we found some gentlemen that, were willing to meet with us. So some soldiers that were willing to meet with us. Oh, what a sham of a sham of a sham. So kind of what I thought. It's kind of what I thought. I'm going to say, I don't think that these text messages are legitimate leaks. I think that they are planted leaks. Let's talk about leaking and planting. So, I just think that it's really about using a negative post or a negative leak to still kind of frame, like, these are people that don't like them, but they're still talking about all the wonderful things that they did, or a number of wonderful things that they did. So I do hope that you enjoyed this. My hair is annoying me. It's in my face today. And my sinuses are killing me, but you guys are not. You guys are great. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to try and crank out a few more videos, but you get this one today. I hope you all had a fantastic day and you are not suffering from allergies like me. Thank you so much. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.